All right, everybody, let's hope we are live and good and streaming well today. We are actually in a different spot here down on the floor of the CBOE and the S&P 500 options pit. You'll notice maybe a little different angle here, and I apologize to everybody for what happened yesterday. They changed up some settings here on the floor, and it's a really, really good thing that they got that figured out with the activity we have going on today. How are we looking today? How are we looking and sounding, guys? Mike, Danny, how are we looking? How are we looking and sound? Okay, phew. Hey there, Steve. Welcome, 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 everybody. So hopefully we are good today. Yes, like I mentioned, sorry again about yesterday. Good thing we got it today though, because you're here on an historic. I don't even know how you say it. Historic day in the markets here, guys. With this move, yesterday, one of the things I was trying to tell everybody, and I don't know if you actually heard it or not, because I know the streaming issues. Um, One of the things I was trying to say yesterday is the move that happens today, so the day after the election, is historically what happens for the next 2 weeks. Now, right now, S&Ps are up 130 points. I'm looking at the Dow up here. The Dow is up 1,375 points. Are we going to continue that? No. Personally, I think this move is just way, way, way over exaggerated. But who am I to say what's right and what is wrong? So, those of you that happened to see me earlier today, I was actually right up here. Let me turn. So, right there is where my interview was this morning on the Schwab network. And it was so loud in the pit here this morning, I actually could not hear Oliver Rennick, the anchor on Schwab network. And it's not so loud right now, but there is a lot of activity. Yesterday, first timer, Caesar, welcome. Welcome, first timer. So glad you are here. So glad you are here. Um, so yesterday at this time, again, I don't know if you heard me or not, I was talking about how little volume there was, and everybody was just kind of waiting back, see what would happen with the election. This time yesterday, there was only about 600,000 contracts in the S&Ps that had traded. Right now, almost 1.4 million. So I think there was a lot of short covering this morning, but there is also a lot of activity today. All right, what's on our agenda today, guys? We are going to go into a rapid fire. Now that we are post election, which total surprise to me, total surprise to a lot of people that this was decided just so convincingly overnight and this wasn't dragged on at all. What comes next? Well, let's take a look what's going on today. First of all, vol has plummeted. Volatility has plummeted. We see the VIX, I'm going to talk about it in a second here, down below its 200-day moving average for the first time in almost 3 months. Volatility across the board has been absolutely annihilated. More, maybe no more so than in DJT. Those of you who are in our DJT position where we had sold in Iron Condor, boy, that thing just collapsed all because of a big drop in volatility overnight. Number two, I'm going to show you, and it's definitely busy, guys. When I see something trading big up on the floor or on the floor here behind me, I'm going to let you know what it is, and I can also let you know what it is up on the when I look up on the big board here. Huge Amazon call buying financials. I am not sure. I could not find the data on this. I'm not sure there's been another day, at least in my trading career, that we have seen the financials, the banks, rally as hard as they have today. And then, as I mentioned, VIX below the 200-day moving average. So first off, here is Amazon. This was earlier this morning, a couple hours ago. Okay. And you can see three different expirations. So next week, couple weeks from now, and then all the way out to February. Okay. But These first two on the 205 strike line, this one out in February on the 225 strike line, buyers above the offer. Now, one thing I know we started to talk about yesterday before we got cut off was, what does a sweep mean? When this says sweep here, what does that mean? Hang on one second, guys. There's a public selling a lot of calls here. These are the Nove 29th 6100 strike calls in the S&Ps here. I'm just watching up on the tape here, guys. And now the D6175. The D6175 calls, 2,000 of those just traded. So really, really big. Now I'm seeing lots of Januaries go up here as well. January 6350s, 2,000 of those traded. I got to figure out the price here. Sorry, guys. Going back to what is a sweep. So as you know, there are multiple exchanges, right? Multiple exchanges that list options. So if an order comes in to just buy what's out there, right? Whether it's buying on the offer or selling on the bid and it's a sweep, what they're doing is just taking every option that is offered at those prices. Okay, no negotiation. They're just taking them all. So you can see here 18,000 of the ones expiring next week, 44 and change of the ones expiring in a few weeks, 1,500, which is actually big, going out to February. Okay, so lots of call buying in Amazon. Next up, the banks, the financials. Okay, look at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Citi, Wells Fargo, all-time highs. All-time highs. Look at this chart here. What this is the XLF, everybody. Okay, so rather than look at just an individual financial or an individual bank, this is the XLF. Look at that massive gap here. The XLF is up more than 3% today. Again, going back in time, I am not sure when I have seen a 3% or more move in the XLF in one day. It is just absolutely across the board. And in fact, let's bring in here real quickly. Let's look at some of those individual financials I was talking about. So here's JP Morgan. JP Morgan is up 11% today. JP Morgan is up 11%. That is just absolutely crazy. 11%. Goldman Sachs is up 12.5%. Look at those big candles there, guys, on the end. Okay. Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley's up 13% today. Anybody that had that on your bingo card, that you would see these big banks just rocketing to all-time highs today on these severe moves, you know that was, I don't want to say winning a lotto ticket. Nobody had that on their bingo card. That is just unbelievable. So we're seeing obviously that massive, massive, massive buying in the financials. Okay, so let's look now. Hang on, I want to somehow got to get this back up here. Let's look at the streak buster here, guys. Okay, what is the streak buster? This is something I was going to show yesterday. Okay, I know I'm trying to get this full screen here, guys, and having a problem with it. So, um, how do I get that in presenter mode here? Is it this guy? Oh, there we go. No, maybe. Nope. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure, but that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Yesterday, I had this up here. This is the VIX. Okay. The longest stretch in 5 years above the 200-day moving average for the VIX. Okay. Yesterday made 78 sessions. Well, what do we see today? Look at the VIX today. The streak is busted. There's your 200-day moving average, and we are just below that there. Okay, I actually am watching Bloomberg up here on the big screen up here right now, and the VIX pit, which is right over there. Okay, there's a big headline, and they're doing a big story now on if you had the right direction in the VIX. Okay, so you were long puts because the vol or VIX, absolutely cratered today. These people didn't make money. They didn't make money. And I have talked about this before to you guys about volatility, implied volatility, and what happens when we get such a severe move and such a severe um, move back to its mean, reverting to its mean. So even though the VIX came down and people were long puts, you'd think you'd make money. Well, because vol got hit so badly, uh-uh. Okay, that's one thing we talk about all the time. And then yesterday, I also wanted to show you this, okay, which I really do wish that I could get this up here in full screen here, but this, and I'm happy to provide this to anybody. This just goes to show, regardless of who is the president, okay, the Dow tends to move higher. Okay, so here is a listing. Here is a listing going back to William McKinley, okay, all the way up through Biden. It doesn't matter, and we've talked about this, it really doesn't matter who is president. Okay, you can see just a few red candles here with the biggest one being Herbert Hoover. We all know what happened then. Okay, 37% decline. But other than that, okay, so anybody that's really worried about the market overall moving forward, you can have some solace that we're in a good place. All right, before we get into rapid fire, guys, before we get into rapid fire, let's get the word of the day out here for our wheel. Okay, here is our wheel spin of the day word, and it is rally. It is rally. Okay, so please get that up here. Make sure you get that in the chat. We'll get you on the wheel for the end of the day. Oh, there we go. They're coming in right now. And we will do, especially because of the hiccup yesterday, we will do a few extras today on the wheel spin. Oh, here we go. What's going on here? Oh, I see a big call spread that just traded the December 59.75 61.50 call spread. Look at that, guys. There it is. Real capitalism as we speak. As we speak. Can you guys all see what's going on behind me here? Can you all see what's going on live in the pit? I'm not sure if you can actually hear as well, but pretty incredible activity out here today. Okay, we'll come back to Groucho in a little bit. I want to go into rapid fire now, guys. What is rapid fire? Wanted to do it yesterday. Okay. No, that was at Smooth Sailing. Um, that was in SPX here. That big call spread that just traded. So what is rapid fire? Rapid fire is you guys give me a stock, a position that you want to look at. You put it up here in the chat. I'm going to bring up the charts and we're going to talk about it. Okay. So let's do that right now. If I can somehow get this off the screen would be really, really nice. I had it before, guys. All right, Mike, how do I now get this off the screen? You can come into here. You guys know I'm not so well versed here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, here's the charts, guys. Let's go. Okay, first one, coin. Okay, we got coin up here. Massive, massive move in crypto, right? Because the thought process is if Trump won, she did, crypto was going to skyrocket. We are seeing a massive, massive move in Coinbase, MSTR, other related other related stocks as well. In fact, Those of you in our Mara position, you should all be filled on half of our spread, right? You should all be filled on a 145 exit. So that is awesome in Mara. But let's go back to coin here. Okay. What do you do with violent moves like what we are seeing today, guys? And these are violent moves. These are borderline irrational moves. Thank you, Bear. I see that. Well, for me, Coinbase, we're coming up on some really major support. Okay. We are really coming up on some major, I said support, resistance. Sorry, guys. I am actually getting, even with my headset on, I am getting drowned out at what's going on behind us here. So there is some really, really major resistance up here at 259, 260 area with volatility absolutely getting destroyed today, which you can see right here, which again, that's kind of the theme across the board here. I'd actually hang on, guys. November 57.35 puts, 10,000 of those just traded. Okay, those are pretty far out of the money at this point. Okay, anyway, I would actually look to buy a put spread in Coinbase. Maybe not right here. Give it another $5, $6, $7 or so. Okay, and I would look to buy a put spread. All right, here's one that I have never ever looked at before. Somebody wanted to look at Summit. Okay, let's take a look at Summit Therapeutics. My guess is, and I don't know, my guess is there's probably something in the hopper with the FDA. Maybe there's some decision coming out. However, look at volatility again. Volatility down almost 20% today. So let's look at the implied vol chart here. It's actually pretty cheap. If you're bullish here in Summit Therapeutics, maybe you look at a calendar spread, a calendar call spread, or a diagonal call spread. If you're bearish, probably the opposite. My gut tells me though, my gut, just given this little consolidation right here, this would be an ideal candidate for a double calendar, a double diagonal, a double strangle, buying some volatility, buying some time, looking for a big move one way or the other. Okay, CVX, Chevron, CVX. Okay, I talked about this earlier in my class. Even with oil down today, okay, and oil is down today. Why are many of these stocks, CVX, XOM, Valero, MPC. Why are these stocks up today? We typically see them trade in concert with the price of crude. So is crude down and why are these stocks up today? Why do you think it is? Well, it has to do with the same story of why stocks like First Solar and Enphase and stocks like that are getting crushed today. Okay, exactly, Rodney. It's the drillers. Now, I'm not so sure. Again, maybe I just don't understand enough of this, but we drill, we produce more oil than we ever have. So yes, one of the themes of the Trump campaign was drill, baby, drill, right? Obviously, the market is buying into that big time today. So we are seeing these massive, massive run-ups. Now, specifically to CVX and Bear, you said less regulation. Could be, but that's something that nothing's going to change overnight, right? Nothing is going to change overnight. Whether there's regulatory issues or not, you're talking about months, if not years, down the road. So CVX, what do? I am definitely not buying into these rallies here. In fact, we sold today. We were long VLO and we sold. We got out of our entire position today. Okay. I am not bullish these stocks. The reason being is because the landscape, the fundamentals of supply and demand still have not changed. We have an oversupply, we have under demand. Either way you want to look at it. Okay, supply and demand. I think this is a great opportunity. Take short position on a lot of these stocks. That's me. Okay, next up, Palantir. Palantir is a stock that, boy, that skyrocketed yesterday. We had a long position. We exited out of everything yesterday. Okay, the stock has continued to go higher. What do you do when a stock is already at its all-time high? Do you buy into it? Do you kind of let it just calm down a little bit? I love the stock. I'm never ever a fan of buying into a huge move one way or the other. In this case, buying into the rally. What would I wait for? I would wait for this gap. So the gap on earnings here, okay, that was all the way down at 41. I'm not going to wait till 41, but I am going to look at this area right here. Okay, so what was that previous high, which is right around 45? To me, that is going to be the next support area. Remember that old adage, that old saying, previous resistance is support, previous support is resistance. That's what I'm looking for in Palantir. Rodney, WHD. Let's get this up on the screen here. WHD. What is going on with Cactus Incorporated? I don't want to get stuck with Cactus. I know. My dad jokes are terrible. Sorry about that. So first off, first thing I see is there's very little option activity whatsoever. I don't know what the news is today. I really don't. That sent it catapulting. Other than the market's up, we had earnings a couple days ago. Not a stock I'm going to touch because there is just no option activity at all. Sorry about that. The credit card companies, Visa, American Express, MasterCard, again, they're part of the financial space skyrocketing today. You see American Express here up 7%. 7%. Well, Bear, you say well beyond the expected move here. Lot of stocks on this violent move, well beyond the expected move. So here's another one in AXP. Do you buy into it? It's like the rest of the banks. Is there going to be follow through? Is there going to be momentum? I don't like doing that. That's just my personal take. I'd rather wait for either a fundamental or a technical reason to do so. So, not saying we got to wait to fill this gap here in AXP, but maybe this area around those previous highs around 282, 283. That's what I'm looking for there. Okay, DVA. Keep the stocks coming here, guys. Keep the stocks coming here. DVA, DaVita. Okay, stock is maybe one of those few stocks that's actually unchanged today. It's literally, within a few pennies of being unchanged. If I look at this pattern here, boy, on earnings, we saw this drop, big drop down right to the 200-day moving average. And look how it held right there on that 200-day. Now, it has made a pretty significant rally since the low there. It's up about $8 or 6% or so, coming up to the top of this gap here. Okay, or I should say the bottom of this gap. I would look for it to pull back a little bit. I really would. I would look for it to pull back and then get back in if we start to retest the 200-day moving average. Okay, Lyft. Lyft is what I talked about this morning on the Schwab Network. Okay, to me, excuse me, to me, I don't know. Fundamentally, there's not a lot they can say unless they come out and not only give unbelievable guidance, but maybe talk about some new partnerships, anything like that. To me, there's not a lot they can say that's going to move the needle to the upside. So I had put out a position on Schwab Network this morning about buying a put spread, a really cheap out of the money put spread for next week. So I don't see a lot of significance on this chart right here. Okay, guys, we're going to get to where I'm going to still do some more, but we're getting to last call time for the wheel. Make sure you get rally up here if you want to be on the wheel today. We will do a couple spins. We will do a couple spins. Oh, you know what I just heard from the broker right behind me here? He said, I got an iron condor here. See, they really do trade, guys. They really do trade in the real world. How about that? How about that? And that iron condor. Hang on. You know what? While we're talking about iron condors, let's look at the one we had in DJT. This was the iron condor. Now, it was kind of skewed. It was skewed because we had a wider put spread than we had on the call side. Okay. We had sold this thing for a $3.75 credit. $3.75 credit. We bought it back. We closed it out today for $1.25. Those of you that remember, and I talked about this yesterday, okay, the at the money straddle, okay, where it closed yesterday for this week was pricing in about a $20 to $21 move over 50%. Over 50%. Caesar, just write the word rally in here so we can get you on the wheel and then you'll know what it is. Okay, but you got to put rally in the chat, Caesar. So over a 50% move, DJT is basically unchanged today. Vol collapsed. All of that premium collapsed, and we bought that iron condor back. If anybody wants to know more about an iron condor, we can focus in on that in a subsequent. There we go. We can focus in on that in a subsequent live stream if you would like. Okay, Meta. Meta was down a lot further this morning. Rallied back, selling off again here. I actually like Meta. I know there's some conflict, if you would, between Zuckerberg and Trump. Maybe that is why Meta was getting hit today, because some people think that maybe Meta's on Trump's hit list. I don't know. I don't think so. I think hovering right around this 50-day moving average here, good opportunity in Meta. Okay, hang on. AMD, 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 I saw up there. Okay, it's going to be real interesting to see what happens with the CHIPS Act. Is it going to continue? Is it going to get repealed? Is it going to get modified? So I think the chips are, maybe a little bit up in the air. Obviously, we've seen a video with a huge rally again today, up 4.5%. AMD, though, kind of stuck in a rut. It's kind of stuck in the mud here. Micron was the same way, but Micron's got a heck of a rally today. And AMD is just not following some of these other chip guys today that are up so big. Texas Instruments is another one that's up really big today, 5-6%. Okay. AMD, though, it is not following the lead, and that makes me a little bit cautious. Okay. How many of you like doing the rapid fire? How many of you like doing the rapid fire? Because we can definitely incorporate that into, one or two live streams during the week. When Mike Shore or Charlie Moon comes on, we could do it with them as well. If you like it, just let me know, and it is something that we will definitely bring in. Okay, the wheel is closed, guys. The wheel is closed. We are at 12:30. The market is at its highs of the day. S&P's up 138.5 points. 138.5 points. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Okay. Yes, Howard Greenberg. Yes, we got our $1.45 partial exit in Mara. Yes, we did. All right. Mike, this looks like the wheel. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. Ooh, we're packed on the wheel today, guys. Caesar, is your name in there? Do we get him in there, Mike? Okay, Caesar, you are in. So what we're gonna do, thank you, Karen. what we're gonna do 2 spin. We'll do 3 spins today. I still feel bad about yesterday. We're gonna do 3 spins today. Okay, new record on the wheel. All right, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Got to show you something before we spin the wheel here of what is really happening here. Hang on. This is one of the brokers right next to me that's on the phone right there. Okay. So he is confirming a trade with his customer. He just made a trade with a market maker across the other side of the pit. He's calling it into his customer right now. I hear him say I've got 1,500 more to go. So let's see. There we go. He did 250. This is how it happens, guys. You won't see this anywhere else in the world. You will not see this anywhere else in the world. Come on. Where is my desktop? There it is. Okay. Let's get to the wheel. Here's the first one, guys. Boy, there's so many people on there. I almost can't read this. First one is Randall Vanek, it looks like. I think, Randall, you're a new winner. I don't think I've ever seen your name up there before. Okay, remember, what you have to do is send me an email to prosperswag@prospertrading.com. You've got to send me an email with your name, size, and mailing address. Okay? Did I get that right? Yes. Okay. Randall, are you here? It's another thing. You got to be here to claim your prize. So, Randall, if you are here, let me know. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds before we spin the wheel again, Randall, to let us know that you're here. Okay. Man, there's a lot going on here. Holy smokes. Randall, you got 5 seconds. Yes, Randall, you are in. Okay, here we go, guys. Next spin. Next spin for today. We're going to do 2 more. Here we go. Who is this going to be? Thomas Swift. Thomas Swift, are you here? Nicely done, Thomas. Randall, make sure you send me an email to that email address I posted up there. Thomas Swift, are you here? Want to get one more. Ooh, the Jan 6700, the 6700, 6800 call spread just traded 500 times January. There it is right there. Looks like it traded for $1. You guys can look that up. The January expiration, 6,700, 6,800, traded for $1. Thomas Swift, are you here? I'm giving you 10 seconds. You got the 10-second countdown, Thomas Swift. Everybody's waiting with bated breath for the next wheel spin. We may have 2 more if Thomas doesn't speak up here. Thomas, 3, 2, 1. Thomas is out. Thomas is out. Here we go again, guys. Thomas, so sorry, man. Back to the wheel here. Who is this going to be? Black Lion sounds familiar. I don't remember the name, but I do remember Black Lion up here before. So, Black Lion, if you are here, please let us know you're here. We're going to give one more spin here, guys. We're going to give one more spin. Black Lion. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Last one of the day, guys. Last one of the day. Here we go. Here we go. What do we have? What's that? Oh, Thomas, you showed up a little late. That means we're going to have 4 today then. Thomas just under the bell here. And Leif, I don't want to mispronounce your name, Leif Brogren. Are you here? This will be the last one today. Leif, are you here? Awesome. Okay, guys. Finally. Finally. Okay. Everybody have the email address to send to me. Shoot me an email with your size, mailing address. Awesome. We got it. All right, everybody. Hopefully you like the new spot in the pit here. I will be here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time, noon central. Please hit that like button. Please share it with everybody. Hopefully we get business tomorrow down here and I can let you know what's going on in the S&P pit just like today. Thomas, no, we got you in. Thomas, I said even though you're late, we're still going to count you. All right? Wonderful. What am I What do you want me to do here? Put it again? You want me to, the website. What am I trying to do here, Mike? Oh, the official Market Minds website. There we go. Okay, guys. So we now have not just our YouTube channel, we now have our official Market Minds website. What can you get there? It's not just our videos, it's going to be full of educational content, full of up to the minute news, market news. Okay. So it is secure.marketminds.com backslash, what is that? I can't see the rest of it, Mike. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. All right. So you guys can all do that. Thank you very much, Bobby. Everybody, have an amazing, amazing day. Uh, been a historic day here, guys. We'll see you later on.